Hi!
Hi guys!
I'm Joe,
And I'm Viv.
and this is our daughter Ivy, who just turned 4 months old recently. So we thought today we can talk to you a bit more about our baby journey and how this beautiful little soul came into this world. So we're gonna talk a bit more about choosing our donor, choosing our clinic, our fertility treatment, and go into more detail about our journey. First, we're gonna put someone down for a nap.
Yes, we will.
That was a very successful 4-minute nap.
She will be with us. Hi. So for the ones of you who don't know, we are a lesbian couple and we have a baby girl, 4 months old now, and we did it through an IUI.
With the help of a sperm donor.
Yeah, with the help of a sperm donor. We were lucky to be successful at the first attempt. But let's start at the beginning. The very first thing that we did was searching for a sperm bank, because we had this wish, kinda, that we would conceive our daughter at home. And looking back, that was very naive. And it was like that because we were obviously following other couples that did the same, but we didn't consider that these other couples are actually from America, and here in Poland we might have different rules, and
Poland is not a very LGBT friendly place, so we don't have access to fertility treatments in clinics and things like that, so it's a bit different for us. But that's the reason our first step was looking for a sperm bank, because we always had this idea that we will just do it like that. So when we decided that it's time and we wanted to try for a baby, the very first thing we did was Googling sperm banks, and this is how we first came across European Sperm Bank's website, where we started dived in straight away, started to look for a donor, but very quickly we realized that there is no shipping to home addresses when we were looking for a donor. So we were a little bit confused at that moment, because we didn't know if this is something that can be arranged some way, or they really just ship to clinics. But
from there we were like, we didn't know what to do, or what were our options, and we started to research on the internet, and we quickly saw that we didn't have these rights to do it in Poland, and that was a little bit sad for us, but we didn't want to lose hope, so we just continued to to search for other options and information on the internet of people that would have been through the same process. To be fair, we didn't find many things, which is why we are now sharing our story, and we are so passionate about it. The best thing we could do was to actually reach out to the sperm bank, and perhaps they would have information, and they could give us options.
So we reached out to European Sperm Bank's client service, and we described our whole situation and where we are and what we were planning to do, but we can notice that it's no longer or ever was possible. So we asked them, what can we do, where can we go, and we got a very nice reply listing the places we could travel to.
We got a very positive message from them. Actually, it was an email with a bunch of options, and that really gave us the hope that we are in the right place. We are with the right sperm bank for us.
So in the meantime, before we even chose our treatment country, we started looking for a donor, and one of the first functions that we noticed on the website was photo matching, which is matching the donor based on your facial features. So this kind of matches the donors that look similar to you, considering your facial features. So we used that, but we very quickly realized that it really limits our options. We just had few results, and we knew that there are so many more important things to us than the donor, you know, being similar to me. We were using my picture, so we just quickly decided to drop that idea and focus on more important things for us, like the medical history. So we just went one by one through all the donors, just really digging in to the profiles and reading everything through and looking for someone
we had so many options, I remember.
It took us
a moment
to read through all the profiles. So we were just looking for someone that seemed like a nice, kind person that, you know, we would get along with. And we were also looking at the medical history. It was important for us that none of the minor health issues that, you know, occurred in the donor's family were overlapping with V's family.
Yes, that was very, very important for us. Actually, that was what determined which donor we chose, because he had our donor. He had a really good medical history, and his family medical history as well, because all the grandparents either died really, really old, or the ones that were alive, happily, fortunately, are also like old.
Yeah,
Older.
and it was still a tricky choice because all the donors are healthy. They are all very extensively screened, so all of them are healthy. We had to look for very big details, like for example, we really wanted someone who didn't have asthma in the family, because in V's family it's common, or diabetes, or just
that was very important for us.
To similar things. So we were looking for someone that doesn't have the same issues as
me and my family, and that was how we chose it, basically. The other thing that was very important for us to make a decision on was where we want to travel for this fertility treatment, and European Sperm Bank gave us a few options of countries that were around us, let's say, and Portugal, because I'm Portuguese, we gave it a look, and we contacted a few clinics in each country, to be honest, the clinic we chose was in Denmark, Copenhagen, and we just loved. I think it was one of the first ones we found, and we just loved the clinic because the website was so clear. It literally have step 1, step 2, step 3.
Exactly what we needed. Everything
exactly
in English,
what we needed.
Everything very clear. The whole journey is already super confusing, so the last thing you want is a confusing website of a clinic that you don't understand the process from.
Yeah, so that was very helpful, and it was actually the only clinic we were searching and we were checking on the internet that had such a detailed explanation.
In
had
English.
Prices, had everything in English, perfectly clear, and we reached out to some in Portugal, which weren't helpful at all. We started the journey wanting to have an IUI, an intrauterine insemination, at a clinic. And for example, when we reached out this Portuguese clinic, they started to push for an IVF treatment, which we didn't want to start at all. So we just for a little bit of a background about me, I never tried to get pregnant before. I'm pretty young. I don't have any major issue fertility-wise or health-wise. So I really wanted to start with the simplest treatment and have as natural as possible at first. And then obviously if it was needed in the future, I could have some help with medication or even other treatment. But at first we really wanted to focus on something a little bit less invasive and more natural.
So yeah, there was many more reasons that we chose Denmark. For example, we have friends living there that we could stay with. The flights were very short and easy to get to, so that was very important for us too. And they ran very often because to Portugal we only have like flights from any city that's close to us once per week, so that's not very helpful when you're trying to plan a trip around your ovulation.
Also, we did a quick research about traveling for fertility to Denmark, and there was a lot of articles which it wasn't the case with the other countries, so it made us think that it's something that happens there and they are used to it, so it's obviously something that would be better for us if the clinics are already comfortable with that. And also everything that we searched was so positive and so like focused on helping couples and helping everyone having a family, that we took it as a good sign. And it was a very easy decision at this point. And we just decided to do it in Denmark. Also, the clinic that we preferred was in Denmark, so everything was kind of pointing towards that. After that we reached out to the clinic. Actually, we just booked a consultation, right?
Yeah, we booked a consultation with a clinic. At that point we didn't even choose the donor yet.
Yeah.
We
did have
shortlisting our favorite ones.
We did have favorite ones already, but we didn't choose the donor. The first step was booking a consultation with the doctor.
Yeah.
It was very surprising that we booked a consultation in such a short notice. It was December and obviously very close to the Christmas time, and we still had a booking. We still booked for the next week, which was very, very surprising for us, considering most stories we hear online. There's a big wait list for even phone calls and phone consultations, so we thought that's pretty good. We waited impatiently for our consultation day.
We waited 1 week impatiently
for our consultation,
and it went amazing. I think we heard everything that we wanted to hear.
I have to say that before that I was already tracking my ovulation I have an app on my phone where I was tracking my period, my menstruation dates and my ovulation. We also had a test, an at-home test for ovulation, and we were kind of tracking to see if my ovulation was exactly when it was supposed to be on the app, and so far it was pretty regular. So at this consultation we heard great news. Oh, by the way, another thing we have to mention is that prior to the consultation I was required to run a few tests. I think we done two blood tests by this point, and they would have to be ready by the consultation date. And at the consultation the doctor told us exactly what we wanted to hear. That was all the tests looked normal. There was no need to start at a point of having to have hormones or medication to help ovulation. We could just start as natural as possible, and we could start as soon as we would want, really.
We didn't expect that, but they were like, oh, if you want to do it in December right now, you can attempt it straight away.
Since you're having everything natural, which was something we really wanted to hear from a doctor. So that was a very, very good sign. By this point we were already really optimistic about everything. We just had to choose when we wanted to make our first attempt to have our first IUI treatment.
So we decided to attempt our first IUI in January because Christmas felt a little bit too busy and too close for us, and we still needed to choose the donor, so we decided to do it in January. And after the consultation, everything started to feel really real because we were like, okay, this is 1.5 months we are talking
a good
about,
feeling,
like
a good
excited,
real feeling.
excited, real type of thing. So the first thing obviously we sat down and we're like, okay, we really have to make a final decision. So we went through the short list we made of the donors we really liked, and again went through all the information we had about them. And by the way, that's a lot of information, 32 pages about our donor, and this included like audio interview and handwritten notes and personality profiles and detailed questions about like hobbies, languages they speak, food they like, countries they travel to, a lot
dreams.
of
I don't know.
There's just so many things around many areas of their lives. So we were just really considering everything that we received before we made the final choice. But as we said before, our final choice was based on the
medical history,
and the longevity of
the
grandparents of the donor. Like everyone in his family seemed to live longer than 90 years old, and we're like, okay, this is exactly what we want for our daughter. So after we chose our donor, we placed an order with the sperm bank to our clinic, and it's important to note that they are in the same city, so we never expected really the delivery time to be very long, but it ended up being like surprisingly short. We called like 2 days later to check in like where was the status, and we were informed that it's already at the clinic. So we were calmer also at that point
away,
because that was something that gave me anxiety all this time. Like, what if we arrange this whole travel, go to Denmark, and everything is, right, but we didn't place an order early enough, and we wouldn't have a thing that we really needed for the treatment.
So one more thing was kind of taken out of our mental list of things to worry, which was great. And it was kind of time to plan
the trip.
Plan our travel by this time.
Yeah, we kind of were doing all those things at the same time, because I remember when we placed an order, we already had the tickets and had our travel booked. We booked our travel for 1 week, and this ovulation was supposed to be exactly in the middle of that week, so we felt pretty confident and pretty safe with that, especially that her ovulation was very regular before that. And then we waited excruciatingly long month through Christmas. We've decided to keep this whole thing a secret from our families, and through Christmas, where you just spend the whole time with family, it's just so hard. Difficult to keep it a secret.
And when this is like the most exciting thing you've ever done in your life, like the close to it, it was hard to keep, but I think we are glad we did it like this. I believe.
It was very good that we didn't have this
additional
pressure on us, and we could just have this first try for us,
because obviously we didn't know what the outcome would be, and we just didn't want to have this extra pressure of having people asking us how it went. I mean, it was the first time we did this whole thing, so we didn't know what to expect. That's it. We didn't know what to expect, and we wanted to keep us for us to kind of heal and kind of deal with it at our own in our own way.
Whatever the outcome
it would be. So we waited,
and the January came very quick. And we traveled to Gdańsk, where we had our flight from.
So we traveled to another city from our city to have a flight from there, and oh no. And in the evening, when we were at checking in at the hotel, we checked in, we went to the room. It was pretty late, but I was like, I'm going to do the ovulation test. And the ovulation test came positive, which was not as it was planned originally.
It was supposed to be on Tuesday, and that was Sunday.
Earliest on Monday.
Yeah.
And that was Sunday evening. So obviously quickly Joe started to panic.
I was like, oh my god, is this whole thing, you know, already wasted? Should we cancel everything?
Yeah.
Should we come back home? Is it just like in vain to be even trying?
Yeah,
you know?
we didn't know because obviously the clinic was expecting us around Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. It was like, but I didn't know if they had free booking on Monday, so that was gave us a little bit of anxiety and stress. But as soon as we landed on the next day on Monday morning, as soon as we landed in Denmark around 8, yeah, in the morning, 8, 9, we called, I called the clinic, and I already had sent an email actually, but I called the clinic and they booked it for 11 a.m. and everything was so smooth, and so there was no problem at all. They were just like, oh sure, we will book you for 11 if that's okay, and we were like, yes, that's amazing.
We
and
were just running with our suitcases.
We were just expecting it to, you know, there was so many like kind of problems in the beginning of the journey, so by this time everything went so smooth that it was just surprising but so good. So we felt like amazing, let's just go, and we went, these few hours later, we went to the clinic, we've done the treatment. It was also supposed to be like a very short 5-10 minutes treatment. We ended up staying there for 2 hours, but I think this video is already very long for the story. Now it's like a little bit of a funny story. But at the time it wasn't funny because obviously we were so worried about the outcome, about everything that might happen, and you know, everything you see on the internet is like you have to be calm and relaxed and everything will be okay if you're calm and relaxed, and this whole journey wasn't calm and relaxed. We were like we were stressed, we were traveling abroad. We had this minor complication at the clinic with the treatment, so everything was like a little bit, you know, we weren't so calm and relaxed. I wasn't so calm and relaxed, so yeah, I think this story will be for another video. But fast forward, a few days later we got home and I started to feel pretty bad. And as soon as we could, we started testing, and it was...
We made another video about finding out
you can
it
watch
was pregnant, so we're gonna link it here.
We will link it in the description box. So obviously it was positive, and this little angel, this little cutie was born with the help of our sperm bank.
Also, as we said previously, this whole journey, the beginning of it and the researching was very confusing for us, and we couldn't find much information ourselves. So at that moment we decided to share everything in detail on our Instagram profile. We got in touch with European Sperm Bank and started a collaboration, and now we are together sharing information about the baby journey processes for LGBTQ couples. So if you are interested, if you are in the process, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us or them on Instagram. We're gonna link that as well. And we'd like to thank European Sperm Bank for sponsoring this video and helping families like ours. And as you see, we have to be finishing this.
Well, we have to finish this video.
Bye!
Thank you so much for watching. You can give us a big thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, have a magical day.
Bye!